Hi. We're gonna, in this video, this is the second one of our videos on civility. In the first video, I just tried to discuss, what exactly is civil communication. In this one, I want to talk about the current state, and I want to specifically focus on three areas that I think are contributing to a lack of civility in our communication. I think we can start with the assumption, I think most of us would agree, that we seem to be less tolerant of each other, less civil, less respectful in our communications. What are some of the reasons? In this video, I'd like to talk about three of them. First of all, it's the emergence of technology. I think technology is wonderful. It's hard to remember what it was like before iPhones, but there's a price we pay. There's an opportunity cost in that we are so attached to our technology. We communicate in small doses, in few words, online. The cost is we don't interact as much in person. We don't have thoughtful conversations. We don't have those long discussions, say over a dinner table, like the time, like that's how I was raised. You talked about important things over the dinner table. You had a conversation. You did it in respectful ways. So I think with technology, people have become less skilled at conversing in meaningful, face to face, in person ways. Secondly, I think we've become a culture of a lot of winning and losing. I think that we strive to win at certain things, yet people online may be bullying us and suggesting that our lives don't quite match up with theirs, or at least in our own minds, we create that. And as a result, we seek opportunities to win. And one of the areas where I don't think we discuss much and the impact is the emergence of gambling, and specifically online gambling. This is a billion-dollar industry. A lot of, especially younger folks, younger males, spend a large portion of their day figuring out what bets they're going to place, how they're going to parlay things. And casinos and these online gambling sites are in business for one reason: to make money. And that means that most people who participate lose money. They can feel like losers. So if you're feeling like a loser in some aspect of your life, you might want to feel like a winner in another aspect of your life. And that could mean winning an argument, trying to show another that you are right and they are wrong, and maybe doing it in less respectful ways. Some of the emotions that has been built up because of one losing, we tend to displace it and we take it out on others. And the third area is that I think we've learned that attacking others may lead to something very positive. If I continue sort of in that sports realm, look at all the talking heads that now they've created these personas where they attack people and make wild claims. And many of them get rewarded with huge contracts and make a lot of money. There seems to be a correlation between salary and saying very outlandish things. In the political arena, I go back to the classic commercial in 1964 when there was a little girl uh, pulling petals from a flower, and when she got to the end of the flower, there was a nuclear explosion. And essentially, the question being asked is, would you trust Barry Goldwater with his finger on the trigger of a nuclear weapon? And that was one of the first scare tactics that really worked. And, that has continued with the negative kind of advertising. It really started to take off some years ago in Pennsylvania, when the Republicans had a candidate, William Scranton Jr., and the Democrats, they brought in James Carville, and this is even before he worked for the Clintons. And he came up with some advertising that was quite negative, tapping into Scranton's past, and it worked. So being negative, going on attack mode seems to work. And people can do it easily through technology. They will say things on X. They might even put things on Facebook or some other social media that they wouldn't do in person. So they can get very aggressive, sometimes very mean, much less respectful. So I think these are three of the areas that have really contributed to the state we're in: the emergence of technology and how it's used, the culture of winning and losing that we live in, and the fact that we've seen people that go on the more negative, take a more negative route in communications, whether it be in the political arena or elsewhere, they seem to do well. As a result, some folks say, why be civil? I can call names, I can be outrageous, I can bully folks, and that's where we find ourselves right now. So in the final video, we're going to spend a few minutes talking about what can we do about it. We don't want to just be disheartened and say, hey, look at this state we're in. No, we have to talk about, and we all have to accept responsibility of trying to make things better. Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing part 3 on civility, civil communication.